Yeah, hi peeps. James back on the old squat box once again. I've been watching some political stuff and some comedy stuff. Well, what do you want on YouTube already? But I just felt I needed to say something here about this thing that we keep getting all the time in Britain, and you get it in America as well. The Western world seems to be preoccupied at the moment with this immigration thing. Oh, immigration is destroying our economy. Immigration is destroying our country, you know. And it's all bullshit. If our economies were strong enough and people were earning enough to pay their taxes, you know, buy, food, pay for their kids' educations, all that good stuff that your wages are supposed to pay for, If corporations weren't subverting the political and the economic system and the tax systems, in order to, just steal all that money. If the billionaires and multi-millionaires weren't, constantly sucking up your milk, I fucking drink your milk, you know what I mean? If that wasn't the case in the Western world, people would be living a happier existence, and we wouldn't be caring that a guy moved here from somewhere else and got a good job and paid his taxes and put his kids into school next to us, and that eventually over 3 or 4 generations became just like us, good Brits or good Americans or good Germans or good Dutch. It wouldn't matter, But when you go through these economic fucking turmoils, after a crash in the economy, where the only people who seem to have fucking been damaged by it are the average citizen. You don't see politicians complaining very much. They're still buying £1 million fucking hooses, you know what I mean? They're still getting mortgages, you know what I mean? You don't see millionaires and billionaires complaining that they'll not get any money. It's the politicians who pander to the fucking lobbyists, who pander to fucking, some political fucking organisation, who think they're doing the job that, that the rich people want, but actually they're not doing any job for anybody but them fucking self-seeking fucking pricks who want to keep themselves in a fucking job, you know what I mean, so that they can pay their wages and put their kid into a good school, but they don't give a fuck about you. This is the problem we have in our political system now. The politicians don't give a fuck about the ordinary citizen. They feel that they have to pander to the rich because they're the people who pay the fucking, the political organisations that feed money into their fucking campaign to keep them elected. It's self-serving fucking bullshit. And so long as that's the way they're thinking, and they don't actually care about the country as a whole, or that the population they're supposed to be representing, you know what I mean? So long as that's the way it is, that corruption through the political system, the economic system, so long as that's the way it is, we're always going to have the ability to look to people's fears. Political systems and organisations in the blogosphere and in the media will be able to print fucking shit that the ordinary, low educated fucking citizen will be able to pick up all of that headline, that's shocking, and they see these strangers outside, strangers who speak the same fucking language as you because they've been there for like 30 years, you know what I mean? They're already acclimatised to your society, they are Brits or Americans, but they look different. And, so it's this sense of feeding into the psychology of the fucking human brain to dislike or fear or distrust, the different. It's a psychological fucking frame of mind. It's not a fact of the world. It's a psychology that we were developed and evolved through fucking time. And it's being used against us by politicians and fucking political organisations in order to get fucking shit from you, your vote, your fucking vote, to vote them into fucking power so they can continue to fucking pay no attention to you apart from the fucking, the one day you've got to go out and put an X in the box. That's all they're channeled, all their energy and all the money that they fucking pump into these systems, you know what I mean? Instead of dealing with the fucking problem. If everybody had a living wage, they wouldn't be upset when they see a foreigner move into the street, or someone dark skinned moving the street if they're white, or vice versa, you know what I mean? They would just see it as a new neighbour, someone to take a fucking bowl of fucking, cookies round to on their fucking housewarming, like you see in all the movies when things were going well. People go on no matter what you look like next door, you know what I mean? Most of the time. Yeah. There is that 400 years of Scottish chopping, English up and vice versa. there's 100 years of the, you know, Americans, whites and blacks hating each other. But, you know, I think we could pretty well get past that. There'd be a minority of 18% who are fucking complete freaks, fucktardy wankers. You're going to get that in every society, you know what I mean? And that's something you deal with by putting laws in place to say it's illegal to do it, you know what I mean? Took America 100 odd years to get that sorted out, but eventually you did it. It took Britain fucking hundreds of years to get from lords and kings fucking winning the land to everybody having the vote, you know what I mean? You know, it's like we have progressed, but our systems are being corrupted. They're being corrupted by money, they're being corrupted by the judicial system, which favours corporations now above people, and it's being corrupted by the political system, which itself has been corrupted by money. You know, this is the problem. If you look back in history to you know, all the civilizations that went before, you can probably pretty much pinpoint where there was a change in the society, there was a downturn in the economy, corruption in their economic systems and corruption in their political systems added to that. You know what I mean? And instead of the people who were being paid or were supposedly in the position to you know, govern and manage these systems, managing it for all the citizens in that country or that society, they basically grabbed what they could for themselves, which is what we are seeing now in the Western world. It's greed, corruption, and this idea that, you know, well, fuck you, I just want to get my fucking bit of the pie because the pie is going to disappear soon, you know. There's this fear of, you know, well, if I'm not rich enough to protect myself against, you know, the vagaries of fucking, you know, the economic system, the political, then I'm fucked, I'm going to be dying with you in the street, so I don't give a fuck about you, I just want to get my bit, you know. That's basically where we are, you know. You can even look at the religious people. The people are supposed to care more than anybody else. They've got the moral fucking high ground. God gave them morals, you know what I mean? And they're supposed to be like, you know, they're supposed to high ground. They're supposed to know everything in God's mind and all, you know. And look at these fuckers, you know what I mean? Popov. God's going to take your cancer, throw your pills on the stage, you know what I mean? He's back in business making more money than he ever fucking did, even after being caught out as a fucking fraud. Who's caring about that? No fucker. Any regulations against that? No, you can't talk about religion, it's sacrosanct, you know what I mean? Look at these fucking priests and ministers tampering with kids for decades. Nobody did fuck all about it. Look at the fucking, you know, these Protestant fuckers, you know what I mean? Or the anti-gay fucking shit. I know it's dying out now, but it was for decades and decades. Anti-gay, 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 and then they get caught fucking snorting cocaine or fucking some shit off of a gay fucking, you know, hooker, you know? Hooker's ass, you know what I mean? And stealing money. And they're tax exempt. Tax fucking exempt. The world is dying. It is slowly choking itself to death because of no regulation on corporations. Everybody's becoming skinter and skinter because there's no regulations on banks. And the political system is dying a slow death too because we've allowed money and corporations to corrupt the political system. We were warned. Over decades we've been warned, you know what I mean? But as I say, you look back at the ancient Greeks, the ancient Romans, you know what I mean? You see what destroyed their economies and their fucking political systems. It's exactly what's destroying ours. So, what can we do about it? We have to change the system. How do we change the system? The people have to get angry enough to stop listening to the bullshit and start saying, fuck you, we need someone who's going to stand up and be a hero and go out there and destroy all the fucking, you know, the standard fucking, you know, runners for office. But people have to start forming on the ground. Both sides of the fucking, you know, in America and the 3 or 4 sides we've got in Britain. We've all got to say, we want to vote for someone that's not them. None of them. The only people I've seen doing that is Scotland. We've gradually got the national, the Scottish National Party. They are the only party in Britain that's actually demanding that something be done for the people that they're and you know, supposed to be governing over, you know what I mean, representing. They are the only people, and they say, oh, they're socialist. Well, what the fuck should a government be if it's not so? What is socialist? It's to do the thing you were elected to do, you know? look after every citizen. Corporations and banks and CEOs don't count. That's like a fucking general in the army, you know what I mean? If you only care about the generals, what happens to the fucking privates? Yeah, they get fucking slaughtered. They're just fucking cannon fodder. Nobody cares about them. That's what's happening within our fucking countries. The political fucking, you know, wankers and the media, the high up media, all these people getting hundreds of thousands of pounds a fucking year, they don't give a fuck. They never see fucking starvation on the horizon. I mean, millionaires, billionaires, they don't fucking worry about where their next fucking, you know, meal's coming from, where their kids going to eat, whether they can pay their electricity bill and heat the fucking house this winter. They don't care about shit like that. These people are elected to make sure you don't have to worry about that shit. We don't want to go back to fucking living like the Iraqis and the Iranians and the fucking Afghanis, where it's like every man for himself, and if your neighbour comes and steals your shit, tough fucking luck. Unless you pay the cops, they're not going to do anything about it, you know? And you've got nothing left to pay the cops with, you know?
Sam Elliott, please. Sam Elliott. Of the mainstream political...
So, as I was saying, sorry, I was rendering something and it jumped in. So yeah, you know, where are we going to go from here? Again, I see, the Scottish nationalists showed the way. Unfortunately, the people in England seem to think UKIP's their answer. Well, I have a premonition. I have a premonition. I can see the future. No, I'm just saying, what I can see as a possibility is in 6 months' time, Britain has an election. The Scottish nationalists kick a lot of the Labour Party out and, you know, dominate even further the Scottish political scene. In England, the Liberal Democrats lose seats to the UKIP, and we end up with another, what do you call it, another, you know, collaboration government between Conservatives and UKIP, which basically tips the needle to the right wing. Pretty much what happened in America, you know. People are scared. They've been frightened to fucking death about, you know, this invasion of foreign people. When they don't really care the fact that Apple pays a marginal corporate tax rate of less than 1% because it pays its taxes through Switzerland, you know, which is allowed by the EU rules because nobody, you know, seen what could possibly be used, you know, in that tax system and says, no, I'm going to veto that fucking shit. Even though France or Germany or Britain could have vetoed it, it was like, well, I can't fucking veto something that's going to help my fucking, you know, my overbearing fee-paying masters. You know, I work for them after all, not for the people who elected me. I work for the corporations, you know what I mean? The PTT shit that you're going to see in America, that's not because it's going to be good for the American people. Bollocks, that's going to be good for corporations, you know what I mean? Or the tax regulations in America, where, you know, you can actually, you know, make, you know, $2 billion fucking dollars in profit but pay absolutely no tax. And in fact, the American government has to pay you tax back. Has to give you, you know, has to pay you hundreds of millions of dollars because you didn't make $4 billion in profit. I just don't get that, you know. Corporations get to do shit that, you know, individual people can't. The judicial system, until rich people that fucking commit fraud and crime, until they go to jail for the same length of time, for the same things that an individual ordinary citizen would go to jail under the same circumstances, then I would say that it's a fucking unfair system. And you need to fucking change that system. Anyway, I think I'm pretty much running out of other things to say. I had lots more to say, but you know, I'm just dragging on 14 minutes now, and spent a bit more time than I wanted, you know, hammering the point home about certain fucking things that a lot of people don't seem to fucking see. Like pricks like know how the world fucking works. I'm amazed he even knows how to flush a toilet, that prick, you know what I mean? I'm amazed he doesn't just shit in fucking nappies and throw them down the fucking toilet, you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, Swansea fucking bar, motherfuckers. Swansea fucking bar.